2020. The first thing I'm going to do, Michael, I know you're on here and you look like you're the only person that's not on the FinCom, so I'm going to open it up to public comment just in case you don't want to stay the whole time.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Next, I'll approve the meeting minutes from 6/9/2020. Everybody get a chance to read those?
Yep, motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
Yeah,
That was
the only
Kathy,
thing-
Josh. That was Kathy, Josh, right?
Yes.
the only thing I would say about those meetings is, those minutes is, I was here, but you couldn't hear me, and so I did try and attend, so.
Okay.
I
Thanks,
can
Bob.
amend it to have your name added.
So
Do I
this
have
is Kathy, motion to amend the meeting minutes to include Bob as a participant.
Perfect. So we have a motion to approve the meeting minutes with Bob as a participant. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Bill. Josh?
Eric,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
Kathy,
Yes.
Susie,
Aye.
Bob,
Yes.
thank you.
The next order of business is FY.
Eric, I still need the original motion for the approval.
Say that again, Bob. Say that again, Josh.
I need somebody to second the approval of the
I'll
minutes.
second the approval.
Yeah, Bill did.
Okay, all right, and then we'll do a roll call vote for that. Eric,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Kathy,
Yes.
Susie,
Aye.
thank you.
All right. The next order of business is Order O, FY 20062, which is the acceptance of a gift from Bridgewater State University. I believe this is the $50,000 one, or $55,000 one.
Motion
Bridgewater
to
State
approve.
University.
Kathy.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, Eric,
Aye.
Bill,
The discussion, I'll discuss. I think we're very fortunate. I know the universities this year are having, financial struggles with everything that's going on. And I think it's amazing that, BSU continues to gift this pretty much year after year going forward. And I really appreciate that anyway. Thank you.
I agree, Bill. Absolutely.
Yeah, Bill, thank you.
can-
Because I before we approve it, I was just curious. Is this an amount that they do every year?
So traditionally, it's been about this for the past several years.
Right.
Combined with the scholarships they offer and some other programs, they totaled it up a little bit higher. But I think it's been $55,000 for 3 or 4 years now.
And then what fund does it go into?
So as you read, it's specified for police, fire, and highway.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
It's pretty split that way.
Bob here, they've been giving that amount forever. I remember when we were back on the advisory board, they were giving it then, so. They're terrific about that.
They
Right.
did stop for several years because there was a little bit of friction. But once we got cleared up, they restarted the gift, and
Right.
it was amazing, and we're lucky to have it.
Great. Thank you.
All right. Josh?
okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and restart the vote. So we'll start with Eric,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Kathy. Kathy, you're on mute.
Yep, sorry, yes.
Susie,
Aye.
thank you.
The next order of business is Order 0 FY 20063, which is an acceptance of a donation for Central Square in the amount of the only question I have about this, I know Tony's not on, is They assembled the vote to accept the donation of $100. Looks like it's two separate donations of $500 received for the maintenance of Town Square Park and Recreation. So two different donations.
I'll
That
make
is
a
the way
motion
it
to
was
approve.
explained at the Budget and Finance Committee's meeting.
Any discussion on this one?
Again, it's nice when someone gives money to the town.
Right.
So I have an order to approve. A motion to approve, sorry.
Motion to approve.
Bob,
Second.
I'll second that, Bill.
Okay, thank you. Eric,
aye.
Bill,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Susie,
Aye.
Kathy,
Yes.
thank you.
All right. So that's all the new business. Before I open it up to additional committee discussion, I want to give Bill just an opportunity to address the committee. So Bill, I'll hand it over to you.
All right, thanks. This has been an amazing opportunity for me to have been on the council, then come on the FinCom, work with this great team. You're all very, very dedicated and excellent members of the team. It's also given me some insight into things that I think we need to improve within the communication area, really. I just jotted a few notes. So one of the things that I'm going to try to do from a town council point of view is I'm going to introduce at some point a measure to adjust our agenda rules and have space before the legislation, probably somewhere around committee points or town manager points, and leave space for a FinCom liaison to address the town council. I think it's, after experiencing both sides, I think it's really important to have the council hear firsthand what the discussion might have been, or some topics that the committee's working on, or some policies that might be going on, or even concerns from a financial point of view, and not just our director, but people in the community that actually serve in this and have perspective of their hometown. So I can't introduce this next agenda, but very shortly. I also want to see how we can improve the overall communication for legislation. We take votes, and I can tell you firsthand from my being president of the council at one point and being present for a lot of things. We hear about the 5-0 vote or the 6-0 vote from the finance committee, but we don't hear a lot of questions or details around that, or even if it's a split vote, what the issue might have been. And I know firsthand now, one of the things that we voted on here in FinCom didn't get, I thought the communication back to the council was good, but the council's amendment to the order we were talking about was different than what we had been discussing. And I reached out to Ann even during the meeting. It's like, what happened to our amendment, and our recommendation? So I think we just need to find better pathways to make it clear what the amendment recommendation is from FinCom. It's pretty easy from the budget and finance because you've got the members being right on the town council and they can talk about it. But again, having that person, whoever gets selected, address the council can help with that communication and talk about any changes or any amendments or why it might be possible that it's different than what the Budget and Finance Committee was thinking at the same time. The other thing we've been talking about over the years is the possibility of restructuring this committee, the FinCom, and maybe resizing it. But I don't think we should do that without having input from FinCom members right now. We had talked about maybe dropping the number of people or restructuring it, how the appointment worked or something else. And the reason the discussion was held that way was because there was always an issue getting quorum. I think that some of the steps that the team's been taking so far about getting standing meetings set up and having a good cadence that follows the town council motions helps improve the possibility of having the quorum. But I think also, it's worthwhile discussing. So before we introduce any changes that might affect the size of it, I think that maybe have FinCom discuss it among yourselves and, having a more open discussion. As I said, it's been really insightful to see the actions from outside of the council and from the point of view of the FinCom. It's been really helpful for me to understand that there's other areas that we need to work on policy. And, we've talked about some of the policies here, and I'd like to find a way for FinCom to be able to initiate policy and find an avenue for introduction into the town council process, whether that's the president takes it on or budget and finance takes it on, introduces policy. I think that's a worthwhile thing because, here you can go more in depth with the finance director and some of the other pieces and talk about some of the other pieces of the budget that may not get covered in detail in 3 minutes on the town council level, even maybe not at the level of the budget and finance committee. But here you want to try to attract experts in the field of finance and other areas like that to really bolster the skill set on FinCom. And this is the right place where that level of expertise can come up with those pieces. Finally, last year we hosted, I set up the first 3 workshops. We'd never done this before, so a workshop to talk about revenue, expense, and capital planning. I thought that worked out well. We had a little bit of stutter step with a couple things, but I thought that the 3 or 4 groups we invited came together and talked about the topics. I know that, walking through the contract price process and looking at some of the trend analysis was helpful for a lot of people. So I'm going to try to set that up for probably a September timeframe. I think we should try to make this an annual event. It's helpful in looking at trend analysis that, the school system and Tony have and even Rainham has, and look at, what's the state going to do, or what can we predict it's going to do? Can we look at things like excess tax and make some judgments about that? And that process, I think, having that open forum and workshop through the 3 major pieces will really help us start the initial phase of the budget process. So I'm going to try to put that together. But I wanted to thank everybody here, for allowing my input, and we'll try to find someone better than me to fill my spot, and we'll be communicating back and forth often, I hope. Thank you.
Bill, just really want to thank you for all your support the last couple months. I know we talked early on, and I think your perspective from the council point of view has been a great value add to the committee. So appreciate all you've done. Really look forward to some of the things you just mentioned, because I think that as long as we can continue to have a forum and get our meetings together, there's a real value to this committee. So thanks again. Appreciate it. Congratulations. And with that, I'll see if anybody has anything additional to comment on. If not, we'll look for a motion, please.
I have 2 things, and we don't have to discuss them right now or tonight, but I just wanted to propose them for future meetings. One is related to school budget communications, and I think some of it is more so I've been trying to just understand how the process works of FinCom's role with school committee, with interacting with Derek Swenson. I've had a couple of conversations with Derek just about other school related things, and it has come up that he has mentioned that he would like to see more interaction from FinCom. But I appreciate, obviously I see that Mike Dolan's been with us for some recent meetings. So I think where I'm going with this is just, could we maybe just discuss and, you know, kind of understand like what does that whole process typically look like in terms of the school budget? And then our role once that amount is approved, you know, after that amount is approved, I got the impression from a few folks that we don't have much participation afterwards, which is, you know, understandable as well because that's a district budget. So that was one thing I just kind of wanted to put out there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, Susie, so I'm going to interrupt you just for half a second so that
Yeah.
I can ask Josh to add it to the agenda for the next meeting. And Michael Dolan, I'll maybe ask you just as a takeaway, if we can invite you or somebody else that you think is best suited to kind of speak to that, to be a presenter at one of our next meetings, we'd be grateful of having you involved in that discussion.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be happy to.
Great.
Awesome, thank you. The second thing, I was just curious also just broadly more about what the communication looks like between FinCom, other committees. You know, for instance, I just as a member of the public attended a master plan committee meeting the other week. I thought it was super interesting. I think there's a lot, you know, hopefully coming down the pike that it'll be good to just be aware of. So I just also wanted to understand and have a discussion around, you know, again, how those processes look because I think I kind of came in kind of like the middle/end of the budget season. So I wasn't as familiar with how the whole beginning of it starts, you know, so the interaction between FinCom and other committees, as well as, you know, do we have conversations with Tony and the finance team with any of these folks, or is it more that Tony starts it first? So again, just trying to understand just for background, but then also are there opportunities where we could improve as well in some of those communications? So that was one other topic, which I guess maybe also relates to the school committee as well.
No,
it's kind of probably very similar.
I think it's a good point, and I think, yeah, unfortunately, Tony wasn't able to make the meeting tonight. He had let me know beforehand that he was going to be unavailable. But I think if we were to kind of have him walk through, you know, where the budget process started, because to your point, we used to sit down. Bill probably remembers this as well, with, you know, the fire chief, the police chief, a number of different groups within the town, and walk through their budgets. And over time, as Tony's role kind of took off, some of those meetings went down. And that doesn't mean that's the right thing, right? Maybe there's an opportunity to morph it somewhat. So I think if we could just have Tony walk through that with us, we can add it to the agenda and get his thoughts on it. And if the committee feels like there's value to looking at things differently, I think we just need to ask the question. So I think that makes a lot of sense. So Josh, can you add that to the agenda as well? Thank
Great.
you.
And then just one quick final thing, just as an FYI, I did want to disclose to this group, I will be volunteering in a completely volunteer capacity as a resident, working with Kimberly Williams and Jennifer Burke, the Director of Community Economic Development, on some projects that they're looking at around Opportunity Zone, and potentially also looking at a grant for some open streets and spaces project. So just want to disclose that to this group and let you all know. Very early conversations, just because I have consumer retail and a little bit of real estate strategy and operational strategy in terms of building retail experiences. So I said I was available to help out with any kind of advice or getting involved from a volunteer standpoint.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good.
And that's it. So thank you.
Kathy or Bob, anything additional?
I've done mute, Bob. You're muted, Bob.
Can you hear me all right?
Yep.
I just wanted to congratulate Bill and wish him good luck.
Right.
Thanks, Bob.
All right. If nobody has anything else, I'll ask if there's a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Just need to say your
Second?
name.
I'll second that for the last meeting.
Eric,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Susie,
Hi.
Kathy.
Yes,
I thank you, everyone.
thanks, Josh.
Thank you,
Great.
everyone.
Thank you.
Congratulations again, Bill.
Thank you. Have a great night, everybody.
You
You
too.
too.
Thanks.
All right. Good night.